Good morning from Gilroy, California.
We are up and at it. We've got 1,600 miles left. It's like 27 hours. We are gonna make some miles today and tomorrow. So not sure how much filming we're gonna do over the next couple days just because we're gonna really focus on getting there. Also, I don't know that we're gonna be driving in the most like... Scenic?
Yeah,
area.
Scenic would be the word.
Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, we're
going through a lot of fields and farms.
Yeah, today will probably be one of the better drives, just because we're going down from here in Gilroy, which is near San Francisco. We're going down to Bakersfield. I think after Bakersfield, it's probably going to get boring for a while. I don't know, maybe not. It's been a while since we've been out there, and I don't really remember. We're ready to hit the road.
Ready to go.
Let's do it. All right, before we hit the road today, we have a couple maintenance items we need to take a look at. First up, this exhaust pipe is loose. And it's not supposed to be. So that clamp right there has either come loose or it broke. So hopefully it just came loose. Alright, that fixed it. It was just loose. It just needed tightened up. No idea how it came loose, but I mean, we've driven almost 40,000 miles in the past 6 years, so I'm sure all the bouncing down the road just took a toll on it. Alright, next up, over the past couple days, our solar panels haven't quite acted right. They're producing and everything, but it doesn't seem like they're producing as much as they should. Now, we've been in a lot of overcast and a lot of fog and a lot of rain, and I know that has always played a part. You know, that's always like reduced the output, which as it should. But it does seem like something's not quite right. So I'm gonna go up, check out the connections, make sure everything's okay. If there's nothing wrong with the connection, I'm gonna get in the combiner box and check the fuses and just make sure everything is as it should be. Well, the fuses are fine, the connections were fine, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe it was just the overcast. We didn't have clear skies, so nice clear sky today, so we'll find out.
Getting all the way to Gilroy yesterday put us in good standing for the next segment. And as suspected, the drive gets a bit boring as we continue to make our way. Before long, the sun sets on the day and we pick up first thing the next morning in the strange little town of Boron. This desert terrain is beautiful, but definitely intimidating. It gives us a strong respect for those making this barren wilderness their home. Before we know it, we're entering Arizona, our 40th state.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. So we've just traveled for what feels like about a month straight. We are in, actually don't remember where we're at. We're in Arizona. And we have ran into a little bit of an issue. The bus is running a little hot, and I know what the problem is. So we've got these auxiliary electric cooling fans. When the radiator reaches a certain temperature, they're supposed to kick on automatically, and they're not. And we've actually had this problem one time in the past. That ended up being a relay that had gone out. I don't have any extra relay, so I think I'm going to bypass the relay and just have the fans on continuously because we need it. We've got a lot of hills and mountain passes that we're coming up, and it's running pretty warm. And so, yeah, I'm going to go out there and do that now. Okay, so it may not actually be the relay. I just pulled the fuse for one of the fans, or actually, that's the main fuse. Yeah, I just pulled the main fuse and it's broken. So, I'm gonna say that's it. Alright, so I've got extra fuses, and now the challenge is gonna be finding those extra fuses. Alright, so I didn't locate the box of fuses right off. I think it might be in the Jeep. Or not. Maybe it's in one of the other bays. I don't know. That's my random electrical components storage. And I always know if I need an electrical part, it's in there. And I could have sworn the box of fuses was in there, but while I was digging in there, so this was the fuse I took out. It's a 25 amp. And I found a 25 amp just laying in that bucket. So I'm going to give that a try. Alright. Okay.
He's setting up for video.
All right, new fuse in. I heard the fan kick on, so I guess that worked.
Today we're gonna get crunchy. This piece is kind of today.
Good morning and welcome to Kingman, Arizona.
Good morning from a Love's truck stop in Kingman, Arizona.
That's right.
Today we're going to travel a couple hours over to Flagstaff and visit the visitor center there and hopefully a couple other fun things.
Yeah, we've got about 18 hours left total trip between here and Kansas, and we're stoked. We got through all the desert and all the boring stuff over the past few days, and we're excited to do some more adventuring as we go, and we're going to bring you along with us. Let's do this. We start the day having traded the expansive desert for rolling rocky hills and cliffs, and we're loving it.
It's kind of like a Tesla top.
All right, so that was it for the visitor center. It was cool. It seems to be more of like a touristy gift shop kind of thing, but there was some pretty cool information, and we found
Flagstaff's Historic Haunted Places. It's a walking tour to where you can go and see the local places that are haunted, and we are going to do that.
Let's do it. All right, so we ended up having a lot of fun today, just kind of going around. We ended up maybe not planning as good as we should have.
Definitely
because
not planning.
A few of the things that we wanted to go see were closed, and you couldn't see them today. But it's fine because we wandered around, we walked around downtown, had a really good time, went and played at the park, and now as you see, it's dark. So we decided to save the haunted walking tour until tonight, and we're actually going to drive it, and yeah, we're going to bring you guys along. So the first place that's on the list is actually now the visitor center that we were at earlier today. It was previously the train station. The janitors will come in at night to clean, and doors that were supposed to be locked, when they get there, they're unlocked. Or the other way around. Doors that were supposed to be unlocked, they're locked. That, and then like lights go off and on. Some people actually reported like seeing like people, like maybe like shadows running through fast.
Silhouettes in the windows at night.
Yeah, silhouettes in the windows. Yeah, exactly. And so the story has it, the tracks actually used to run right into the building. There was a worker there, a brakeman, that had an unfortunate accident and got crushed between two boxcars and passed away. So the legend has it that his spirit still haunts the train station, which is not the train station now, it's the visitor center. The Flagstaff Public Library. Before it was the library, on the same site was the elementary school. Down in the basement, they see a figure going up a staircase, and the staircase is actually not there anymore. Materials and things being moved, so much so that the library staff has actually like accused the like night janitors of like playing a prank on them, and the night janitors like vehemently deny it. So before this was a library, the elementary school was built here. The janitor of the school, for whatever reason, actually killed his entire family and then came to the school and took his own life. The legend is that his ghost still haunts this school. It's not the school now, it's the library. And to my left here is the Milligan House, currently the Flagstaff Convention and Visitors Bureau. They placed a coffee maker in a certain spot. Overnight, the coffee machine overboiled or whatever, like boiled over, and coffee grounds were all over the floor, and like the machine exploded. This kept happening, and it kept happening so much that they decided, wait, okay, there's something wrong with this coffee machine, so they got rid of it. They bought a new one that was actually, as they put it, a more expensive model. Plugged it in, hooked it up, everything, same thing starts happening. It overboils, coffee grounds are all over the floor. And so they ended up moving the coffee machine to a different location. Haven't had a problem since. So as the legend goes, Mabel Milligan lived here, and she died unexpectedly in 1923. Apparently continues to habitate this home. So evidently she did not like where they placed the coffee machine. All right, so for this next spot, this is the Theatricos Theater Company. This was actually the site of the original Flagstaff Public Library before it moved to the place that we just mentioned a minute ago. So there are three different apparitions that are seen here. There is what they call the kindly looking old lady, and she often appears in the auditorium during rehearsals, doesn't say anything. She just comes in for rehearsals.
That's so cool.
It's amazing. She never says or does anything. She just sits there and enjoys the show. The second one is what they call the old man of the basement. This is a man who stays in the basement area and just minds his own business. He wanders about, oblivious to all around him, until he disappears as quietly as he appears. And then the third one they call the angry young man. While the others are quiet and benign, this one is definitely not. There's a story that in the 70s there was a young man who took his own life in the loading dock at the top of the stairway where this spirit is seen often. So it's assumed that it is his spirit haunting.
Something about that is that's actually on a paranormal list. That is one of the most active spirits. One night it started raining in the hallway of this theater. And none of the pipes were broken. There was no sprinkler system. There was nothing going on. It just started downpouring. And then it was gone. And they believe that it was from this violent ghost.
It's
pretty interesting.
Can you imagine experiencing that? Like, man, that's amazing. All right.
Turn left on West Aspen Avenue.
Next up is the Flagstaff Orpheum Theater, which is right there. Let me park. The Orpheum Theater has two different sketchy things that go on. So one of them is called the Balcony Spectre, and it's basically a shadowy figure that they see walking through the aisles of the balcony. It was first noticed by a janitor who knew that nobody was in the building and saw that, and so went back in to check just to make sure, and sure enough, no one was in the building. Doesn't do anything except for wander around the balcony. The other they call the downstairs phenomena. Employees tell of a time once that in the concession stand, while the last show was playing for the evening, they watched in amazement as a roll of paper towels hanging on the wall started to unroll itself. One of the employees ran over, grabbed it to stop it. Yeah, as soon as they let go of it, it just started unrolling again on its own. Employees and patrons alike have said that they kind of feel things when they walk into this place.
The next part is my favorite because it reminds me of Harry Potter.
One evening after closing, several employees reported that suddenly the toilets began flushing on their own and the sink started running at full blast, and nobody was there. Nobody was in there doing that.
Or weren't they?
Or were they? Near the projection room at the top of the balcony, there's a crawl space with a ladder that leads to the roof near the marquee. While nobody's sure what's causing the disturbances, there is a story that a man went up there and took his own life. However, there is no history, no evidence to actually back that up. That was just kind of a rumor that went around.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
You guys got the mystery.
Okay, so this next one is the Weatherford Hotel right here behind us. So there is a ghostly woman that has been seen floating through the ballroom.
Sometimes she zips back and forth. Sometimes she just like saunters.
Then there were bride and groom that stayed here on their honeymoon
In the 1930s.
in room 54. Apparently they were murdered in their room, which is super sad. They haunt this hotel now as a couple. People have seen them here and there. One occasion, an employee staying at the hotel awoke in the middle of the night to find the bride and groom sitting at the foot of his bed.
And it's gotten so bad that they've like closed the room. The room is no longer usable, rentable. They use it as a storage closet. And people still see them going in and out of there.
That's crazy. The staff has reported hearing their names being called out. There in the basement, there is a patch of bare earth that is like really super cold, and apparently if you stand in it, it like chills you to the core. So much so that the employees that work here, according to this guide, actually won't even touch that spot because it's just like freaky. So that's pretty crazy.
Pretty cool.
I wish it was open.
Cool
I'd like
stuff.
to go check it out.
And for our final stop on this haunted ghost trek, we're going to talk about the Hotel Monte Vista. And the first ghost is called the Bellboy, right?
I believe, yeah, the Phantom Bellboy.
The Phantom Bellboy. Guests have found that if you stay in room 210, you get a quiet knock on the door saying that your room service has arrived, only to open the door and find nothing there. And the first person to apparently experience this was John Wayne himself. And they don't tend to put pets in that room, or they don't at all, ever. Yeah, that's right. They don't at all put pets in that room due to the fact that the pets go crazy and will tear up the room.
So inside this window behind us is actually the hotel bar. And so guests have reported that when they're sitting in there by themselves, they will often hear someone call out like, "Good morning," or "How do you do," or some other type of greeting. Just to find out that no one's there. The story goes that there was a bank nearby that was robbed, and 3 robbers came here and actually hid out in this very bar behind us. So during the flee, apparently one of the bank robbers was gunned down actually right here where we stand, just outside of this hotel bar.
And supposedly haunts the bar to this day.
Yeah,
It's pretty
so
interesting.
that's the greetings that people hear when they're in there by themselves. Well, that's it for our haunted site tour, and that also marks the end of our wonderful day we had here in Flagstaff. Unfortunately, we didn't get to show you guys everything we did, but we had a really great time. There's a lot to do here. If you get the chance, definitely come check out Flagstaff.
And definitely check out Atlas Obscura. There is so much on there to do.
Yeah, Atlas Obscura is a great resource, especially if you travel a lot. There's all kinds of stuff to do, points of interest, especially a lot of weird stuff.
And you are definitely
I'm definitely into weird stuff, so it's right up my alley. But yeah, so I think that's it for us for today. So I think we're gonna head back to the bus.
all right.
Get a good night's sleep and hit the road first thing in the morning.
Catch you guys on the road. Sorry.
Coming up on Sweet Sweet Bus Life, we explore the intriguing Petrified Forest National Park. Come here, I want to show you something. What'd you see?
A train.
We have yet another mechanical issue as we continue forging our way home. Thanks for watching.